Good morning. I'm Angela Hughes, and I am waiting for our guest to jump on. She's having some technical difficulties. I'm the luxury travel entrepreneur, and so while we are waiting, oh yay, Vivian has made it on. Thank heavens! I was just sitting here talking to the crowd. Let me.
So sorry, apologies to everyone.
Yeah, here we go. I was just going to go on and talk about a few things because on this program, it actually cancels out after like 10 minutes if we're too late to it. So I'm happy that you jumped on. Let's start over. I'm Angela Hughes. I'm the luxury travel entrepreneur. I am here today talking to you about some of the most amazing hotel brands in the industry, but I'm also with the amazing, classy Vivian Chambers, who had some technical difficulties. The program that we use is not always user-friendly if you're not familiar with it. So I'm glad that you were able to jump on really quick. Welcome.
Thank you, Angela. I'm mechanically challenged.
Well, that's okay. I'm just happy you made it because if not, they were going to have to hear 45 minutes of like my social media spill today. So how are you?
Good, really good, really good. Feeling great. The vaccination process is moving along very quickly, very effectively. So that's making us feel really strong. And I'm thrilled to be here with you, Angela. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thanks for joining us. I don't know if a lot of people, people see you all over the internet and know you're Vivian Chambers and you're amazing and you're the Muse Collection, but what does that really mean?
So what it means to me is a few years ago when I had my daughter and I took a few years off work to raise her, I decided that there was a niche in the market for laser focused representation for independent hotels, villas, or destination management companies. And I thought, since my background was from the leading hotels of the world, which is a global representation firm, I thought it would be a very smooth transition. And it was. So what we offer, of course, is very, very hands-on. Often I call my clients my children because I'm like their mother hen. To lead them in the right direction. Which consortia should they belong to? Which marketing program would be beneficial to them? Because there's so much product out there. So that's what my team and I specialize on, guiding them through the process in the most competitive, lucrative market in the world, which is North America, USA to be specific. Yeah. So,
okay, I want to talk about you for a minute. First of all, where's the accent from?
So I was born in Barcelona, Spain. However, my parents spent many years in Cuba, so they were considered honorary Cuban citizens. So I often say that I'm Cuban because they spent the best years of their lives there. I've never been, so I can't say much about it. But I do consider myself more American than anything else. I love this country. I'm here by choice. And I have to say it was the best choice I ever made. Absolutely love it.
But you know what makes me so jealous about you? Prior to us even meeting, right during the pandemic, I saw that you were dropping off your daughter like in Italy or England or somewhere for college. And I was like, what double passport does she have? And how did she do that? You know?
Yeah. So, well, it's only one. I only have one child and it's my daughter, Isabella, which is the reason for existing, as they say in French. And yes, indeed. So I took the opportunity. I was dropping off Isabella in university. She's a freshman. And I thought, you know what, if I quarantine for 2 weeks and I can present a letter saying that I work for someone in Italy, which I do, I represent multiple hotels in Italy, I can enter the country after quarantining for 14 days. Of course, I quarantined for more than that. And then I flew from Scotland to Florence directly to be with Claudio Catani, our Brunelleschi general manager, who is he's unbelievable. And I visited the Bauer Palazzo and Barbara and all my clients that were open, couldn't get to the Dolomites because they were closed. Wanted to go to Paris to meet with my friends Fouchon Hotel. But unfortunately, the borders were even more severe going between Italy and France or Italy and Spain.
Right.
So I headed back home. But I spent about a month in Europe. Yeah, it was awesome.
It was incredible. We were all living vicariously through you. It was amazing. Okay, before we start talking about just how amazing you are and your product, talk to me a little bit about how you see the future of luxury travel shaping up. I feel like you're right in the middle of it. You're like such a hot go to for this question?
So I'm really bullish.
People watching from everywhere, Croatia, Portugal, Colorado, all over. So
okay, so don't make me nervous. I'm like, oh. Traditionally, I've shunned the limelight. I've always been very under the radar.
yeah.
But I decided we needed to step up because we really needed to support each other. And Angela, I have to share this, and I share this with everyone. I come from a family of very strong women who faced incredible adversity during the wars, etc. And they always said, when the tough, when the situation gets really, really difficult, you really need to step up. And because I have a daughter, I wanted to show her that this is what we do. We don't shrink, we don't hide, we face it head on, and we keep going. I am very bullish on the luxury leisure market. The group market, not so much yet, but believe me, we will get there. There is pent-up demand. Everyone has talked about it. We have beaten that horse until they're blue in the face.
Yeah, we're done.
But for sure, I'm speaking as an individual, not even as a professional. I want to go now. And I have been going with fam trips, as you know, to the Maldives and Jamaica. I'm going to Mexico this coming Sunday. But I want to go to places in my bucket list that I thought I had time to plan. Well, guess what? That planning is totally shelved now. I want to do it now because I had no idea that I was not going to be able to do it when I wanted to due to the pandemic. And things happen, right? We know things happen, but I've learned my lesson. So I think a lot of people feel the same way, where those trips that they wanted to take with their friends and their families or significant others, and they were kind of, 6 months from now, a year from now. No, we're doing this now because we don't know if tomorrow something else new is going to come up, which I don't think so, but no one knows. So I am extremely bullish. I'm already seeing bookings to my clients, my villas in Italy, which, as you know, is very, very high end. I just got a request on Friday. I have several requests for different hotels in Italy, my villas, not just in the Caribbean, which has been traditionally open since the entire pandemic to Americans, but my villas in Thailand, Spain also. So journeys in Spain. So I'm seeing this now for May, June, and July this year.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling great about it. I really am.
Yeah. Okay, so how many properties do you have in the portfolio? Because I can't keep up. It's like every week you're announcing.
Okay, so that's the $60,000 question, because even when clients ask me, I tell them, I'm sorry, I don't count. It's bad luck. I don't know. Yeah. I honestly do.
You have a really healthy portfolio of.
I have a healthy portfolio. I'm very lucky that it's grown during the pandemic, which was really shocking to me, but it was a incredible vote of confidence. So I'm humbled by that. And I'm very, very appreciative. I don't take everyone on, of course, because I want to make sure that I can actually do a really great job for them, so that I feel the client or the prospective client, we have several conversations to see if there's a good fit in personality, in what they have to offer, in what I have to offer, because we don't believe in one size fits all. That's not true. Trust me, nothing fits me right now. Okay, I'm 20 pounds heavy, but seriously,
extra carved. Yeah, hard word. Okay, let me ask you, because this is a marketing group to help people improve. What do you think the AllStar Agents advisors are doing? Like, how would you characterize the ones that you see are All-Stars versus the ones who are maybe, I don't want to say tire kickers, but the in-between and even the tire kickers. So give me some characteristics of outstanding of advisors, because we want to help advisors grow and
and they will grow. And you know what? They need to believe in themselves. You know that I hosted a couple of webinars I think one of the titles was Knowing Your Worth. Yeah. How to market yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one will believe in you. Let me tell you what I have seen from the top advisors that I have the pleasure of knowing. They've remained incredibly active. They've participated in every panel, webinar, seminar under the sun, because this is the time to learn. This is the time to expand their horizons. They have not taken a sit back and said, oh, you know what, I've checked out. I can't sell anything, so why should I listen to anything? They've done exactly the opposite. How smart is that, Angela? Because now the information that they have in their back pocket, invaluable. Because once the floodgates open, we won't have time to train. We're not going to have time to research and learn new things. We're going to go and book and make money because we've waited a year and a half for this, right? So those are the top buyers. They have grown their network. They have hired ICs. I was having a conversation with one of my dearest friends who shall remain nameless, but she's incredible. She's grown her staff by 5 ICs with kick-ass reputations and book of business. How has she done that? Because she spent the time sourcing people, right? Speaking to everyone, finding out, is this going to work? Is this the right fit? Because again, it's not one size fits all, right? You need to spend time in conversation to really understand where you're going and what your goals and priorities are and see if they fit. And I'm very happy to say she will soon be opening an agency, brick and mortar, which is shocking, right? But she's got the right idea in a very affluent neighborhood and area, and I support her 1,000%. 1,000%.
Fantastic.
Yeah, she never checked out. Never checked. Neither have you.
When advisors are looking for brands, why should they look your direction to your collection? I mean, there's so many hospitality brands. Like, how do advisors choose, really? I don't even know a word for that. You know, how do
I get it 1,000%. So first of all, you have to start with, are they married to a brand, which is like a Four Seasons, one of these world-renowned Mandarin Peninsula? We all know them. Are they married to that because A, is safe and they don't have to sell the idea to the client? Right. And I'll tell you where the travel advisor, the really, really good travel advisor comes in. And I have one, by the way. I do not do my own trips. I've had one for many, many years. Yes, she's amazing. And she knows me very well. So a brand name in a place like Italy, in a country like Italy, really? Do you really need that? I'm not discounting it. They're fabulous brands. But do you really need that? Or do you want a fabulous 5-star boutique property that is not affiliated? It doesn't have any flags with any big brands, because you can get the most incredible service. Why? That means the owner is normally present or very hands-on, right? The ones that are affiliated with big flags, not so much.
I think the problem, and I see this with my own advisors, which I'm 20 strong, is that they're often afraid to go with boutique properties because we have to chase commission down.
But let me wait 1 second. So This is awesome you brought this up. This is planned, everybody who's listening, not planned. So one of the things I did, Angela, during this pandemic, and every day I would go to Central Park. I live in New York City. I live very close to the park, and I have 3 dogs. And I would be like, okay, how do I reinvent the wheel? Oh my God, I've done panels, I've done webinars, cooking demonstrations, whiskey tastings. Okay, I'm like, what do I do? A, for my clients, because I call them my partners, because I want to keep them relevant. That's my responsibility, number 1. So what do? Oh my God, I got it. Let's do a trade show where you don't just listen to a presenter, you connect. So we came up, like 2 friends of mine, actually one very good friend and the other person who's now one of my clients, became a client during this whole thing. And this happened, by the way, incredibly quickly. This idea was born a year ago, came to fruition December, done, launched late January, and we're oversold. So shocking. And so what did it? It facilitates 45 one-on-one appointments, each one over 20 minutes. And you get to choose your own schedule. It's over 3 days in April. Right. So you choose who you want to meet with and when. And what does that mean? It's more than a webinar. It's more than a presentation. It is at a cost that does not exist in the marketplace. It doesn't. Because it's literally, and we're not competing with REIT exhibitions. We're not competing with anyone who really are pros, have incredible reach and do things super well. I know because I participate and I love it. This was just born in the pandemic to give those independent, tiny hotels, whether we're in or out of my collection, didn't matter because, I'm extremely inclusive, but they had to do something. We had a manifesto drawn up, which I didn't write, by the way, because my English is so poor. English is my 3rd language, by the way. I don't speak any of my 3 languages well, and much less express it well in writing. But I have a friend of mine in London who wrote the manifesto. And what that document says is to be represented at the appointment, that's what the workshop is called, to be represented or have a voice anywhere in the United States of America, particularly, because the US is my home and I'm just fierce about it. You need to honor commissions, and you need to honor them in a timely manner, 30 days, no more than that. And you need to sign this document or you will be excluded. That's simple. I have our travel community, our travel advisor community, I have their back. I am fierce and loyal. My clients know this, by the way. Anyone who is represented by Muse/Cameo, they know that commission comes first. No questions asked.
I love that. I love that you've done that. And
1,000%.
I have not registered for the appointment yet. And now it sounds like it's full.
Don't worry. We're vetting everyone because we want to make sure good. Again, one size does not fit all. So we're vetting everyone. We had tremendous response. We just got, Small Luxury supporting us. Lonely Planet is supporting us. The 10 Lifestyle Group just wrote on LinkedIn, which I posted, that the entire team is attending the appointment. That was today. I was like, wow. But I have incredible friends, Christina Jacomino from Express Travel, and the list is endless. I mean, I'm just humbled.
Okay, I'm so excited for that. I better get my application in and maybe I'll get a spot.
You're more than welcome, Angela.
Okay, so let's talk about how the whole thing works and because I just don't want to talk about product. I want to talk about how advisors can really use it to grow their market. And that's what I'm all about, is helping people develop and grow, not just another product knowledge thing today.
So Angela, I think this is going to be, and it should have happened already. I think that you can differentiate yourself as a travel advisor if you know what you're selling, if you know your products well. So for example, don't point to just the normal, right? The expected. I don't care how ultra wealthy your client is. I reside in New York City. Believe me, by default, we know a lot of very wealthy people, but just by default, right? They are not just the Four Seasons type or the Ritz-Carlton, which again, they're incredible brands. They want you to think out of the box. They want you to know them. So every single advisor needs to spend time now, because the doors are opening,
right?
Get to know their clients beyond well. Do they like quiet, little neighborhood places? Or do they like massive hotels? Do they want a swimming pool, or do they prefer a spa? Or do they not care and they just want an incredible restaurant? Because there's this wide selection to choose from. They should also have in their Rolodex or in their note. I keep everything in my notes in my phone. The rep firms, aside from global rep firms, which are Small Luxury and leading hotels and Preferred, which are incredible, they're preferred representation firms that are much more boutique. Because I'm not the only one, right? I'm one of many, many, many. And some of them are incredibly terrific. And I have great friends with those rep firms. I mean, I can point to a few: Brad Beatty with Lush Experiences, and Giuseppe and Tara Wonderlook and Sari Freeman with Passages of Distinction. And the list goes on. And they're incredible. They're my peers. I don't view them as competition at all, because again, people will choose what they feel comfortable with. We encourage that because that will last for a long time. We want to build.
And I'm glad that you brought that up, because I was talking to another figure, Will Medina from the Destination Wedding University, and his little tribe of people. And we're combining on something. And we're saying it's so refreshing, because really it should be community over competition. I mean, there is so much pie to be had that no advisor should feel like, if they share the wealth of information. I mean, I'm giving away a ton of free information on this channel, and you're always giving away free information. And guess what? Karma comes back to you, people. You don't need to hoard information. The more you share it, the more you grow, the more your community grows. And so that's a learning tip I want everybody to take away from today.
You're actually very generous, Angela, because I've seen your postings and you give incredible advice. Just recently, could have been today or yesterday, I typed on your Facebook saying, oh my God, that is great advice. And exactly, it's a big world out there. I don't believe in hoarding. I believe competition is healthy, right? I mean, why not? And I don't mind giving a shout out to the rep firms that I work with, that I'm close to. I refer Bennett and Mercado. I referred someone to. I think they're two kick-ass ladies. So I don't believe in that. I believe in supporting each other. Again, why? Because not everything fits you. Not everything fits everyone else. So we can all work together and support each other for sure. 1,000%. 1,000%.
I know with your incredible portfolio of hotels, how does somebody even know what you offer? I mean, if they're not, I've been on a lot of your webinars, so I see what you're offering, but how does a normal agent who just, got into the fold or is just thinking, whoa, this is a direction I want to go, Vivian's incredible. How do they gain access to your portfolio and the referral system and everything?
So what we do is we try to stay very active. Yes, indeed, the webinars and the panels, but we also do newsletters. We publish newsletters. We do specials that are coming up so that we send them to our database. We post on all our social media. Do not underestimate social media, guys. Anybody out there, if you're not on social media, which I personally am not on my personal life, but certainly on my business, because there's a great way to communicate and get the word out. I also work with several big agencies, asking them if you have a new team coming in, when can we do a presentation, just to get them familiarized with what we work with and who we work with. I belong to several societies. One of them, for example, is the 4174 Club here in New York City. So in May, I'm doing a presentation. So I knock on every door, as does my team, because one source of information is not enough. Somebody may not read the newsletter. They may just delete it. Somebody may not want to be on a webinar because they get bored or they don't have time or they have a conflict. So somehow we need to communicate. So we touch on every point. Obviously, pre-COVID, face-to-face was our preferred method, no question. So we do entertain a lot. And for sure, we do conduct presentations live, meaning in person. But at the moment, that's highly limited, of course, as you know. So,
yeah, and I think there's going to come a time where we're all too busy to kind of keep,
I know it.
I mean, we've turned this show into a regular talk show. We've done 100 events this year just live.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the pace is going to be once we really open up the floodgates again. And so, guys, take advantage of what you've got right now. Still this time, you've got a good 6 months where you could really crank it up. And Diane over here in Greece says social media gas definitely helped my business this year. And she's a great supplier in Greece. Sure. So let's talk about some of your failures. Have you had any failures, and how did that help you evolve a little bit?
So probably more in my personal life than my professional life, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
No, I think I don't necessarily view them as failures. I do view a failure if I lose a client because they weren't happy with the way we provided our representation. I always question myself, what could I have done better? And I do ask that question actually from the client. I said, what could we have done? The way that we have really been able to, because when I started my company 6 years ago, obviously I didn't know as much as I know today. And hopefully 6 years from now, I'll know even more. Wow. But we keep in very, very close touch. So I'm always asking, let's have a catch-up call every other week or every week. Let me know what we're doing right. Let me know what you like to see. What are you not happy with? Because we involve our client in the entire process. They cannot be absentee. They need to be with us at all times, because we don't want to get to a situation 6 months down the line. Oh, you know what? I really wasn't happy with that. So we make sure we have an open door, lots of dialogue. What are we doing well? What's not working out? What do you want to see? Send me this, send me that. This works, this doesn't. And it is truly a partnership. It's not us dictating to anyone or mandating. It's a flow of information because we need to make sure we're on the same page to move towards the same goal, for sure.
So if an advisor wants to use those properties, do they contact you or the collection or your team and then you refer it out, or do they go right to the property and say, I knew Vivian, or how? Give us a workflow.
So this is the way I do it. And it's different probably from many, many of my peers and my colleagues. I don't mind whichever way is easiest. If it's the GDS, if it's the global representation firm, let's say it's leading hotel. I have hotels in leading and small luxury. If it's straight to the hotel, it's through classic vacations, whatever makes them feel comfortable. I just want the booking. I would love for them to let me know, because of what happens. They're extra VIP clients. Because when Vivian sends an email, my clients tend to listen because I'm a little bit of a bulldog. So just for that reason, yeah.
She's going after them. So if you want your clients treated right, you mentioned Vivi's name in this, and you're gonna you're gonna have it right. And that's exactly why she represents the properties. That's amazing. Tell me about some of your favorite properties. Well, that's an uneven question. I know we've got some of your properties watching right now. Let's go Maldives for a minute.
Outside my portfolio, I can say one of my all-time favorites will probably always be because I used to go when my mom was pregnant with me, and all throughout my life, is the Breakers in Palm Beach.
Yeah.
Well, that's outside my collection, so I can say that.
You can say that.
So it brings incredibly happy memories of my parents and my brothers, and then of course then my daughter. It's amazing. So every year we would go, and it's a very special place for us. Very special.
Okay, we have a question. Do we email Vivian once we book a property?
I would love it. I'd love to hear from you. By the way, for those that know me, I reply immediately. I think in less than 1 hour, you guys get my replies. And yes, absolutely. Reach out to me anytime, even weekends. It's fine. I don't have weekends.
Okay, let's go back to some marketing advice. With your properties, how could advisors, outside of the typical answer, put it out on social media, it's too blanket statement, how could they really dig in and use your detailed information to maybe close a sale or, take it to the next step?
The easiest way is to reach out to me in this particular case. Why? Because I have insiders info. So I can provide more information that's on the website, of course, or that we can actually put on a newsletter or on an email blast or even a webinar presentation. So for example, if you have a particular client, and by the way, every client should be a particular client. Every one of your clients should be a VIP. Doesn't matter what level they're booking, how much money they're spending. Just because they've gone to you, that means you're VIPs. So I think it was very important to reach out and say, Vivian, let's just say Florence, you're staying in Florence, you're staying at the Brunelleschi, what else can I do? And then I can say to them, you know what? They have this amazing drinks, and at this hour the bar opens. And if you have this appetizer, which in case you're not allergic or whatever, obviously. And by the way, there's 2 little stores right around the corner. The owner knows them, the GM knows them, they can make an appointment for them. And all these experiences, all these touches, really, and it's not that it's expensive, it isn't, but they really count, and it goes towards client retention. So how does an agent market themselves? An advisor should think of themselves as a source of information, as the source, not one of, but the source. So if I go, let's say, to Nancy, my travel advisor, and I said, Nancy, I am going to Oman, and I don't know anything about Oman, but you know what I like because I've been with her a while. What do you suggest? And then she comes and she goes to me, well, Vivian, there's a little store. They have this embroider. I'm making this up. I have no idea. Or they have the jewelry making. And I think you should take your daughter there. I only travel with my daughter on holiday, by the way. That's like a religious thing. It's like, oh my God, if it's on holiday, she's not with me, I'm not going. So thank God she's not on this call. So all those little nuances that are above and beyond what the hotel can actually offer, because a hotel can cater to any whim. But for you to actually tap into that resource and say, you know what, they want to dine at 6 p.m., but I know your restaurant opens at 8 o'clock. Is there a way to do the dinner in their suite? Is there a way that we can set up a table for them in the restaurant at 6 p.m.? Because, for example, Spain, you dine at 9, 10 p.m. at night or midnight.
Right.
We go to the hotel and say, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Smith are going to be there. They dine at 6 because they like to go to sleep early. Can we set up the table? Can we have dinner for them there? Do we do it in the suite? Do we do it in the bar? Do we do it in another area? So there's so much you can tap into, so much that it's not on the website. I'm certainly not on the OTAs.
And that's what makes you so different, not only as a rep for these products and that you'll go that extra mile to set that up. But I hope you guys picked up that tip of like, you are the expert And you should be working one-on-one with that person. Sending out some blanket email to everybody, some blanket post on social media. I every time you send out a post, now I'm talking to the population at large watching here, I want you to think that you're talking to that one luxury client. So make that post for that one person, make that newsletter for that one person that fits that product, and not just blanket. Oh, so that drives me crazy.
I'll give you something that worked incredibly well. For example, and this is many years ago, there was a couple going to Budapest, and they were staying at this beautiful property in Budapest, and they had the presidential suite. They had everything. Okay. You couldn't upgrade them. You couldn't do anything of those lovely amenities that all the luxury consortiums do. So I'll tell you what I did. I contacted the travel advisor personally. I said, listen, Elaine, I know that they would love to have perhaps a Jewish heritage tour in Budapest, a walking tour, 2.5 hours. They'll pick them up at the hotel. They'll bring them back. It's only, they were elderly couple, 2.5 hours, easy walk. What do you think? And Elaine was like, I won't tell you the name of the agency. It was like, oh my God, that did not occur to me. I'm like, just run it by them.
Right.
Maybe they hate it. I don't know. Mm-hmm. They not only went on the 2.5 walking tour, they went with the guy to lunch. They stayed with her until 6:30 at night. And I'm like, I'm texting the hotel. What happened? Where are they? I'm like, oh no.
Like I sent them away and they're never coming back.
This is where the advisor has the upper hand. They know when Mr. and Mrs. Smith calls what they like, or if they don't, they should. And this is the time to learn it. Make the phone call now. Don't wait for them to contact you to book a cruise or a tour. Now you have the time, and call them and say, hi, this is Vivian. How are you? Wanted to check in. By the way, if I'm filling out or I'm refurbishing or whatever the proper word is in English, again, I apologize, my client information, just to make sure that when you're ready to go, I will be ready to go and take you to the highest. So please refresh my mind. Was it red wine that you liked, or was it white wine? Was it extraordinary tours, like off the beaten path, crazy adventures, or was it museums? Whatever it is. And you should have a list ready and go over the list. Believe me, they'll appreciate it. If they don't have time at the moment, schedule a time. Make a point of making an appointment with them and saying, this is the time to review what we have here. And I want to keep it fresh because I want you to be super happy when you next can travel. And I think that goes a long way. I really, who would not love that?
Okay, I've got 2 more questions for you because we're running out of time, and I know that you always have commitments. First of all, we talked a lot about fees. I was actually on one of your webinars about service fees. That's a question that we keep seeing pop up, and I can't believe we keep seeing it pop up. Can you comment on that at all? Where it should be at and so forth. I feel like we beat that to a dead horse, but we're still not charging fees out there.
So Angela, and you were awesome on my panel, and thank you for obviously agreeing to be on the panel. Look, if you're still questioning if you should charge fees, you have a problem. That means you're not valuing your work. It's just that simple. Yeah. I mean, there are exceptions. Again, one of the exceptions for me, if I were a travel advisor, if I've had a client for the last 30 years and they consistently have booked with me and they're extremely loyal, I may not charge them a fee. But anyone new that walks in through that door, anyone who's halfway new, I would absolutely say, look, these are my services. This is what I bring to the table. And this is where it comes, by the way, because you made that call, remember? And you wanted to find out what they like the best and what has changed and what hasn't. Nobody else does that. Not even your dentist. They don't care, right? But they charge you. So this is where it comes from. Now you can say to them, I just want you to know that come blah, 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 whatever month, whatever you feel like determining, we will charge a consultation fee because this is what we're bringing to the table. You're getting upgrades, you're getting free breakfast, you're getting a tour, you're getting transfers, you're getting whatever, because all of us can. This is the time. If you don't do it now, I think you should think about why internally you don't feel that you're valuable.
Thank you.
Please don't criticize me for that. I don't want to get 20 emails and say, you don't know what you're talking about.
So I want everybody right now, and if you are rewatching this, I want you to right now say #I agree in the comments, and right there, make that verbal commitment that you're going to move forward with fees. So important because your mindset shifts. That's
And
what I'm
of
seeing
course,
at Travel University.
a
It's
thousand
all that
percent.
mindset. And you know what? People will come to me and I'll say, I charge this, and my fees change depending on who it is and what they're doing and so forth and what the planning.
Of course.
But I love nothing more to say this is my retainer fee, because guess what? It just moves you up a notch and you all of a sudden feel empowered. So I want to hear a hashtag I agree in the comments when you get to this, in the replay or right now. Okay, I want to move. I'm all over the place because I know we're short on time. You just came back from the Maldives. It looked amazing.
Thank you.
That's one of the destinations that are open that we could really be focusing on.
Yeah.
And in my mind, at the Luxury Travel University here, I always think of a couple destinations. Many spots in Europe, Maldives, Galapagos, Africa Safari, Tahiti, all being part of what I would consider destinations that you can really lux it up. And I just made that up. But let's talk about the Maldives. It's open. It's like a red hot. Your properties are hot over there. So
yeah, red hot. I have to tell you that the services are incredible. They're you need to travel with a COVID PCR test, negative test, taken 3 days before departure. They, of course, immediately take your temperature upon arrival. You need to fill out a questionnaire online. Your airline, regardless of who you fly, will do the same. Once you get to the property, they have the gel, they have all the procedures in place. We do the testing to depart because, now the US requires a COVID test. They do the testing at both properties, so you don't have to go to a clinic or anywhere off the island. They used to charge $200. They lowered it to $150. Now it's $120, and I'm hearing it's going to be $100. And now they're considering to do it complimentary. So that's incredible. That's great. I know Mexico has a lot of COVID testing, but all complimentary. So the Maldives is one of those bucket lists, right? You're waiting for the day that I can go to the Maldives. It's far away. Guys, get on a plane and do it. I'm only sorry I didn't do it before. It was paradise. So I'm a huge beach fan and ocean. Being Cuban, I never been, but it's okay.
/ Spanish. Yeah.
I don't know. I made that up. Unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. And I've traveled far and wide.
And I'm just going to make this commitment right now to my whole community that I'm going to work something up with Vivian for our community.
With pleasure.
Something.
Let me tell you something. Honestly, I am here for you and for every one of you. I want to tell you that I will support you and all our colleagues and all our advisors 1,000%. So reach out anytime. I'm always here. No, absolutely. And then when we get busy, you won't want to hear from me, which is okay too. I'll understand that.
Now, I think people are probably wondering how you get paid, but you're supported by the properties that you represent. So by working with Vivian, that's not costing you more because she's being compensated by the properties that she reps. To
your point, Angela, you know how you said charge a fee, charge a retainer, because you're actually accessing someone's intelligence, know-how and experience. I'm the same. So my company works, and I don't know about others, on retainer. So in order for the Muse Collection / Cameo Collection to retain our services, we have to come to an agreement on a fee. I don't believe to work for free. First of all, it's against my religion.
We all want that religion.
I've actually been on the board of 4 different charities where we have to write huge checks. One was American Ballet Theater, and I was a board member, and the Jericho Project. So that's completely different. That's my personal life. But if you're tapping into my resources, which are my clients, my partners are free, giving free reign, you are tapping into that wealth of knowledge and into that dedication, because honestly, and I'm sure many of my colleagues are the same, I am on 24/7. You can call me at 4 a.m. in the morning, and I know it may be crazy, and some of you may be saying, oh, that's really dumb, but this is how I do business. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just my style. You don't have to agree. I absolutely understand that. And yes, sometimes I say, really, Vivian? Really? I'm in the Maldives and I'm working. By the way, I was getting text from the beach that we're on a fam trip. Where are you? And I'm like,
I think I was texting you over there. I felt really bad about that.
I'm in my freaking room here.
Yeah.
There's got to be a balance, but I am all in. So yes, I get paid. And if I were not to get paid, I'm not sure that that would sit well with me, right? I'm
Yeah.
not sure. So guys, charge those fees. Yes, there are exceptions, but charge those fees. It will make you feel valuable. Believe me, and you will grow your business. It will not go backwards. It will go forwards.
Yes. And do you have more time? Because I don't want to, I've got a question about your collections. What's the difference between the Muse and the brand new Cameo for
Cameo.
people coming in?
So what happened was during the pandemic, there was a huge amount of interest in coming over to the to the Muse Collection. The Muse Collection I wanted to keep it very, very boutique, again, because I give 24/7 and I give a lot of myself. And because a lot of people do not now have the same resources financial that they did before, they could not afford to pay higher commissions retainers. But I didn't want to leave them in the dark and not have anyone at all. So I came up with, I thought, a great idea, and it's actually gone very well. We have a new member, which I haven't announced yet, because I'm waiting for her to send me images. She's Italian. I'm sitting down comfortably waiting. So it is growing, which is great. So it is limited services, but also it's less retainer. So that's the balance.
Okay.
That's all it is. But I'm not spearheading that effort. I have Valerie Lund who's spearheading, but I am overseeing it. And of course, I am very involved, for sure.
Okay, give us your website really quick so people can find it.
So it's Cameo, Cameo -collection, or Muse, MUSE -collection.com.
Okay, let's wrap it up. What in, the finale of advice can you give us today?
Listen, very simple. Stay strong. Keep the faith. Keep the hope. And reach out to your clients today. Reach out today and every day until the floodgates open, because believe me, you will see the results. You will. Have faith. They do want to hear from you. They do. And you're not calling to sell. Please don't anyone put in the chat, oh, I can't sell anything now. No one is telling you to. You're calling to reach out, check in on them, find out if their tastes have changed and if their priorities and if their destinations, the destination in order of priorities have changed. They've changed for me. It's likely that it would have changed for other people too, so that you're ready to go when they are ready to go.
Okay, Vivian Chambers is my idol, everybody. Muse Collection, Cameo Collection. I'm Angela Hughes, a luxury travel entrepreneur. You can find me over at the luxurytraveluniversity.com, where you can schedule private consulting sessions with me if you want to up your luxury game. We work with you wherever you are in your business. We also have fam trips going on over there. And I also have my own agency where we're always looking and entertaining new advisors to join us, as we are a host agency at Trips and Ships Luxury Travel. So give me a shout out, get in touch with Vivian. Vivian does not know this yet, but she is going to be a guest on the Insider Travel Report, and I am going to be interviewing her on that. So you'll see that coming up with over 75,000 readers and subscribers to that. And so be on the lookout for that in the next couple of weeks as well. So thanks for joining us today. See you guys next week.
Thank you so much, Angela. Be well. Thank you.